Welcome to In Conversation with Hemali. This is a very special episode for me as I'm going to be a conversation with a friend for the last 21 years who has been an inspiration from the day I met her. And she has never, believe me, never ever failed to uplift not only my spirits, but anybody who is around her. With her constant humor and witty jokes, Nomita Dhar is the founding editor at Sun Media Private Limited, Singapore. This is a story of a girl who left Kashmir during the troubled times and moved to New Delhi. In the uncertain times, her parents gave her the best education and taught her to strive for more and never ever give up. Nomita went on to become a journalist with the Times of India, a leading newspaper in India. She moved to Singapore after getting married. This woman who had the fire in her decided to not sit by and became the founding editor at Sun Media Private Limited, which provides integrated media solutions from concept to delivery, both online and print editions to promote bilateral relations, investments, trade, and tourism. It's been 22 years in serving the diplomatic missions connecting international markets with Singapore. She is a mother of two and is spiritually inclined and likes to make people laugh. So get ready to hold your bellies as she strikes a conversation today with her witty remarks. Thank you, Nomita, for agreeing to be here with me on In Conversation with Hemali.
Oh my God, Hemali. I am so grateful to you and congratulations for building up this forum. I remember it was your desire, it was your bucket list, and look where you've come, and I'm so privileged to be with you this morning.
Thank you very much. So tell me something, do you feel as wonderful as you look?
In fact, I feel very fresh, very happy, very content.
I lost your voice, Nomita.
I said I feel inside out happy and content with God's grace on me. And yes, I feel better inside than I look.
That's so you, really. So I'm going to jump to the question straight away. And so Namita, how did you grow in the diplomatic world?
Hemali, as you just mentioned in your introduction of mine, which was so gracious of you, you said so many nice things that I'm almost shy now. And so I was trained to be a journalist. So we came to Singapore and I started working for a publishing company who used to do Jet Airways magazine. This is after I left Times of India. Then I started my publishing company in 1999. And as luck would have it, I started working with the Indian High Commission, first of all. So I started bringing out their monthly newsletter called India News and many other publications. So, diplomatic missions are very well connected. They see each other's work and stuff like that. So I got noticed. So subsequently, other missions approached me to help them do similar corporate communications stuff. And then from one to another, and so that's how we've grown with good work and with the desire to give our very best to the clients. It got us through word of mouth, through our magazines going to these other ambassadors, and they say, hey, can you do it for us as well? And so our growth story has more been what they see, and then they want something similar for their own countries and embassies.
Wow. So from a word of mouth to a big name in Singapore. Congratulations, Nomita. You work with women and organize trade and commerce seminars, world opportunity forums. Is there anything else in particular that I have missed out? And what was your biggest achievement?
We celebrated our 20th anniversary 2 years ago. And it was as you just mentioned, it was called World Opportunities Forum.
Mhm.
And I had around 32 ambassadors or ministers, or a combination of that, who it was a one-day seminar where everybody spoke about their countries. They spoke about us in Sun Media. And one of the high commissioners at that time, Javed Ashraf, he mentioned, he says, Nomita looks like more an Indian high commissioner than I do because she's all over the place. So the recognition of my brand by not only the country I originate from, but other countries, and being able to navigate through all kinds of geographies, irrespective of whether I'm working with Saudi Arabia on one side and Russia on the other side, Brazil on one side, and the whole mix of countries we handle. That I feel very, very honored to have that privilege of serving so many different countries and promoting trade. And what did you miss besides these things? You see, initially we used to do investment, trade, and tourism related publications, which is very special and very niche to us. But a couple of years ago, I thought that the amount of goodwill we have and the kind of connections we have, we must at Sun Media align ourselves to something even bigger.
Mhm.
And so we have taken upon ourselves to look at environment, look at women, gender equality, and also education. And so I'm very honored to share with you, I've just started another company called Global ESG Private Limited recently.
Congratulations. Yes.
And it's going to promote environmental and sustainable solutions and get countries closer to each other in terms of collaborations. So we are trying through this platform with a brand name called Accelerating Green, try to see what are the best practices countries are doing right now. For example, net zero countries, for example.
I'm sorry, I'm missing your voice. Could you, yeah.
For example, Australia, it's a net zero country. They were part of our first conference. Now the second one is coming in January, where we have a conference of very well-known and good ministers from Latin America. So it's going to be a Latin America ASEAN collaboration. So that is one. Then the second one is about women. So I being a woman myself, I do believe that education is a key for anyone to be uplifted or do better for the society. So in last few years, we've started some brands. For example, Ibu Power. This is a women's empowerment program we do in collaboration with the Indonesian government and embassy. There's another one which is called Women's Issues Global Perspectives, which we do in collaboration with AWARE, which is a big women's organization. And we were so lucky to get almost more than 8,000 people who were part of this program.
Wow.
And we will continue to work on this. And the next one is on 1st March again, on 2022. So it's an ongoing process. The third thing, which is education. It is something we believe that young adults, they need a bit of hand holding. So last year we started something called ON Moti Base Camp 6 Steps to Summit. This was in memory of my dear late father. And we had students from Kashmir. We did a program of 1 year with them. They just graduated last month on 27th of September. We've taken the second batch. So these are some of the initiatives which, besides the core journalism and publishing of books, and these are things we are aligning ourselves with. And I feel very grateful that we are able to contribute.
Fantastic. Nomita, could you tell me more about the Kashmiri students? I mean, what kind of a program have you done with them?
As you know, and you also mentioned in your introduction, I am also a Kashmiri Pandit, right? So after we were, through circumstances, we had to leave everything back home. Many of us from my community had to stay in tents and had to we've been away for almost 30 years.
Wow.
There are many people, things have changed, but they haven't changed as much. So
Mhm.
we realized that, while you have education, there have been very gracious institutions who have given special privileges to Kashmiri Pandit children. But
Sure.
at the same time, education is something, and then skills is something else. So
Absolutely.
when they go for looking for jobs, sometimes uh, they can't compete. And we wanted to go to the base of this problem. Why is it that? So there are certain aspects like, grooming, how do you look for an interview? What do you write in your CV? How do you communicate with people? All those kind of things. So through this whole year, we have had specialists from all over the world. We had ambassadors, we had heads of educational institutions, we had air hostesses from Emirates. Then we had voice coaches from Channel News Asia who gave their time to groom these children.
And
So there would be group projects. This is a labor of love. As you know, I'm a journalist. I don't know, I'm not an educationist,
yeah,
but I looked at it from the perspective of a boss. What do I look for people when I hire them?
right.
So we created this program based on the needs and what would make me pick up a candidate. And those are the elements this whole program went through. Then there was a competition. They spoke, they gave a 7-minute speech. It was incredible. And I would say that was one moment which was so brilliant and so fulfilling for me.
I can only imagine how beautiful that must have been. And you're so right. It's not just about academics, but a complete package where all the skills are put together and put forward. That's such a great initiative that you have taken, Nomita. Um, what does success mean to you? I consider you a successful woman in different spheres of life. However, what do you feel about success, and would you attribute your success to anybody? Too many questions together, isn't it?
No, no problem. Uh, Success is doing your best for everyone who is in front of you.
Hmm.
Success is an ongoing thing. It is not a destination. Success is a journey. When when I to me, my relationship with you, being a friend of yours for 21 years, that
Yes,
is my success.
beautiful.
My children in good institutions, being able to make a space in the society for themselves is success for me. My relationship with my husband and being united in purpose and purity of heart and soul is success to me. So that is one side of the success bag. The other part is, yes, once clients give you job to do,
Yep.
whatever it takes, you have to do your very best to deliver the results you've promised.
Hmm.
So success to me is not a goalpost. Success to me is being wanted, being cared for, and being looked forward to being with. That is success to me. Human relationships, uplifting people, giving them purpose, and leaving behind what you've learned and igniting young minds is success to me. And yes, basically that. And we are all successful in our own ways, you see. And every little, as I said, I divide success into little moments,
Wow.
and every moment is success. And when I don't uh, do my very best, that moment I'm not successful. If I don't validate a relationship, then I'm not successful. And yes, to leave that legacy, whether in my own children, whether in your son, who I dearly love, and
Absolutely.
your daughter, who I am so fond of.
Yep.
Um, Success is leaving that beautiful thought and feeling in the other person you are dealing with. That moment is a moment of success, Himali.
Fantastic. And no wonder we all find you a successful woman because of what you just said. Yes, you make us all feel very important and wanted in turn. And I think definitely that is so successful. Yes, thank you very much for saying that. Hey, would you attribute your success to anybody?
My parents, my husband.
Okay.
My I'll give you a backstory. You know, my father had 4 children. We are 4 children,
Okay.
and I'm the third daughter, and daddy had one son.
Hmm.
So obviously, when you've had two daughters and a son, you don't really need more children, right?
Yeah.
But uh, so there was a time when my dad and mom decided not to have this me who had accidentally come or walked into their lives.
Okay.
But my father took it upon himself and he said, "No, I'm going to have this child." And the kind of energy and the kind of positivity he has raised me with, I I didn't ever know that I wasn't wanted. I'm made up of steel, you know. And my father would always, whenever I picked up the phone and I'd say, he'd always start with, "Tell me the good news. Tell me the good news. What's the positive news?"
Yeah.
So I attribute, and my mother is a visionary, you know. She put me, because I'm the fourth child. I went to a convent. My mother thought, because they were old by the time they were having me, my mother thought that if in tertiary, when I reached tertiary education, they may not have enough funds. So
Mhm.
she thought it was very important for her to put me in a convent.
Okay.
And honestly, Hemali, you know, I mean, I'm living off that convent education, you know. She would take me to radio stations, she would take me to television centers. She'd expose me, you know,
Wow.
expose me to everything, you know, in those days in Kashmir.
Wow.
And so it is the positivity and dependability on my parents, where they didn't make me dependent, but I knew they were there, and they gave me so much strength emotionally. I never thought anything was impossible. You know, I've been running this business for 22 years. I've been sitting in the heart of Orchard Road in this office for 18 years. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't doubt for a second, well, you know, it's too much of a dream, because I always had my parents, my husband. My husband is um, he's a very arrived man, you know.
Mhm.
So he has been encouraging me, supporting me in all my mad pursuits, and so I would attribute my success to my parents, my husband, um, yeah, basically that, and of course with all the lovely people who I have, my staff actually, you know, I've had tons of people who worked with me and they believe in what I say. And you know, any mad project I pick up, they'll give their 100%. And many of my ex-colleagues are doing incredibly well. And that makes me very, very happy as well.
Absolutely. Wow, wow. So Nomita, I have been waiting to ask you this, and I want to look at you while you talk about this. Okay. Some people believe that true success begins when you start giving back to the society. What are your thoughts on this?
I absolutely agree.
Mhm.
You know, when your purpose becomes bigger than your own self or your immediate family or your parents, I mean, obviously all of us must do justice to our very near and dear ones. But when this line dissolves, you know,
Yeah.
when everyone else who is not your who is not related to you through blood or is not a friend, when you look at them and you want to do the same thing you've done for your son or daughter, that is the beautiful moment. And then that is where you feel that your visit to this mother earth
Yeah.
has been successful.
It's been worth, yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for saying that. I understand that you give a lot of internship opportunities to university students. So, how does one reach out to you?
All right. So I would like to mention here also, my interns have been like an army. You know, my interns are all over the world, and they've done incredibly well.
Yeah.
So my internship program is hand holding, and they get a lot of personal time with me and my other staff as well. So that changes their perspective. I saw a special seed in them, which was, so that's about internship. So we've been getting interns from all institutions. UWC used to send interns to us at one point. In SMU, every year we have a bunch of SMU students who apply and come here. And then there are also through word of mouth, some people, through recommendations, they want their children. I think I can help, I can help. So basically the simple answer is, if your child is between 18 and 25, or you are between 18 or 25, and you are interested in journalism, in marketing, and in your overall well-being, where you will be job ready, Sun Media is a good place for you to begin. And one thing for sure, anybody who passes through Sun Media, they know how to conduct themselves, and they're very confident people, and they contribute to me, and they are different people once they leave. So to simplify the answer is, my email is nomita@sunmediaonline.com.
Right.
They can write to me, they can send me their CV, and we can take it up. If we have vacancies at a particular point, we'll take them. If we have subsequently, we'll let them know. But we value the young talent. We find youngsters very earnest, very, very earnest. And it's not only we contribute to them, they contribute to us. They are full of beautiful and brilliant ideas. Right. And their young energy multiplies, and it's wonderful working with interns. Yeah.
Sure. So I would request you to leave a message behind for the viewers, please, Nomita.
My message to the viewers is, Hemali is doing an incredible job. She has spoken to all kinds of people, and she's researched on so many people. And I'm amazed at the extent she has been covering. Please subscribe to her channel. And this is a labor of love for her. She doesn't make any money out of it. So the only way we can contribute to this cause is share it, subscribe to it, and do something for the society, bringing all kinds of people on this platform and grow with her. And my message is also that Hemali is a very dear friend, and I value her friendship in my life, and I look forward to getting old with her when we don't die this year. And it's been an incredible journey. And what else can I say?
And thank you so very much. You have made my show so special. Thank you, Nomita, for giving me this time and for talking to all my viewers. It was a complete pleasure speaking to you. Thank you very much.